Hello, my name is Eric and I am a Yenching scholar at Peking University. My field of study is international relations, focused on, of course, China studies, and I'm 2020 Baishan cohort. Without doubt, I would say the scholars that I meet in Baishan is my favorite part of Baishan summer program. It's because it's really hard to find a community like Baishan where you are all like-minded, and at the same time different East Asian scholars are studying abroad in each other's country. So it creates an environment where you can kind of connect really well from the start and just talk about different things, as all the scholars are open and they have their own respective field of study. So just talking randomly, getting coffee chats, or going to their table and asking about things was the most memorable moments of my summer program. Because I'm also working kind of tech sector currently, so talks by Professor Ellis kind of resonated with me, because I've always had this question of kind of Asians' cultural narrative being kind of dismissed in kind of many international discussions, and that's what I personally would like to bring professionally as well. Because, for example, I'm working in metaverse space, and I also find the same patterns with the AI, and because it's such a new industry that's emerging, there's I think a place for a different perspective to come in, and I would really like to come in as a Asian who can bring different perspectives. So kind of Professor Ellis's view and her explanation on AI was very helpful in understanding the current landscape in AI. As I mentioned in the previous question, the summer program and talking with different Baishan scholars actually solidified my interest and even expanded my ideas for me to act as an advisor or advocate for East Asian values to different international discussions related to technology. And just by talking to different scholars, I've identified some of the challenges that we East Asia are facing, and how I can, coming from different background, can help different scholars understand each other in terms of technological discussions, because I'm working in those kind of fields. So Baishan was kind of good test ground. I had really good discussions, different ideas generated by talking with different Baishan scholars, and I'd like to extend that as a whole towards when I talk with different stakeholders in, for example, US or Europe, to bring in that there is this kind of perspective that might have been dismissed along the way, but I'd like to bring that back in. So this has been a really good starting point, I would say. I'd say challenging my perspective, because in order to become, I think, Asian future leaders, you have to be prepared to be challenged. Baishan is, the perfect ground to be always challenged, to challenge your perspective that you had, because it's a people with open-minded scholars studying in different East Asian countries. Growing up in Korea, for example, it's very hard to find very open-minded people who have different perspectives. So challenging your perspective, I think it defines my Baishan experience. I would like to say, really be ready to be offended and be ready to really change what you have thought so far, because it's important, I think, to realize that while nationalism or identifying yourself as to one nation is very important, but at the same time being open, kind of being able to lay down your prime identity of certain nationality down a bit, and then being open to different ideas and realizing that different historical narratives can be challenged and could be different from other scholars. That what you have learned so far from your own educational system could be very different from how they learn their history. So I think being ready to just be offended, have uncomfortable conversations, and just really work towards a common goal of how do we bring East Asia together so that we, East Asia as a whole, has a bigger voice in regional discussions, for example, with the EU or North America.